Everyone, it's Michael Webber here from Melbourne in Australia, and I just wanted to bring you this video today just about dog aggression and some of the facts and fiction about it, what it is and how we go about fixing it. So let's have a little bit of a look at what is dog aggression. Well, in many instances of dog aggression, they're not true aggression but are more of a learned behaviour. And when I say a learned behaviour, I understand that when people see a dog that is excited, maybe snapping, barking, things like that, you automatically assume that the dog is an aggressive dog or it's displaying aggressive behaviour. But that's not necessarily the case. What it can be is that through poor communication between you and your dog, the dog's actually learned to do that, or in other words, hasn't been corrected, and you haven't let your dog know that it is unacceptable behaviour. So, for example, if your dog was displaying some of these instances like that, and you were trying to get them to calm down and reassuring them, things like that, what you're actually doing is confirming to the dog that it's okay to do that, because you're giving them a praise in a sense. So that's something you need to be aware of, that it not necessarily is a true aggression, but it can be through poor communication. So what types of different aggression are there? Okay, well, there's dominance aggression, and as the word suggests, it's where you have a particular dog or breed that is a dominant type dog, and if you try to put the dog into a submissive position or something that might threaten its leadership, for example, then it's going to become aggressive. Now, secondly, there's learned aggression, and that's what we spoke about just now, where your dog does certain things and he's been given signals or messages from you as such that it's okay to do that. So we need to be very specific, make sure that we don't give him that message as such, and we correct and give him a clear signal that it's not okay to do that. We've also got fear or defense aggression. Now, that's very common as well. Obviously, like any animal, us as well, if we get in a situation of being fearful and defensive, we become hostile or aggressive as such. It's a defense mechanism as such. So the aggressive dog in this, who would bite because they're in a shy, insecure situation, it's because they don't understand the situation. So the more you can do to communicate what's going on and the dog can understand that everything's okay, you're going to dispel that fear for them, which is a really important thing to do. Territorial aggression, again, as the name suggests, it's when your dog becomes very hostile, yells, screams, jumps up and down, does all of those sorts of things if he perceives that someone is taking over or threatening to take over his territory. So again, he needs to know who's boss and to not be fearful of having his territory trespassed upon, let's put it that way. Okay, so two key reasons for dog aggression, and it tends to be these two predominantly. Your dog doesn't see you as the pack leader, alpha dog. I know I've said it before and I'll continue to say it. The sooner you become the alpha dog and are perceived as the pack leader by your dog, the sooner you will have everything so much easier as far as obedience and your dog doing what you ask it and things like that. And aggression, look, if your dog sees you as the pack leader or the alpha dog, there's no way he's going to be aggressive towards you or to other people for that matter if you say not to, because you're in command, you're the leader. So that's a must. I'll keep repeating it, but you've got to become the alpha dog. Number two, poor communication. You're not giving your dog the right message. So in other words, you're conveying to him that it's okay to be like that because you're backing that up with, say, some praise type touch, things like that. Your voice is not inflecting a corrective attitude, things like that. So they're really important. Keep those things in mind. Okay, so 3 keys to fixing aggression. Now, I'm not going to go into the actual mechanics and everything, but I just want to give you some fundamentals. So consistency, number 1. You must be consistent with response to your dog, either with praise or correction. You've got to look at the way you're conducting yourself and that. If you give them mixed signals, they get confused, everything's all over the shop. Number 2, timing. It's critical that you associate a specific action with your dog with correction or praise at the right time. You've got to remember, everyone, that your dog will forget very quickly. So if he does something and you can correct or praise immediately, then it has association right there. If you leave it, then the dog doesn't realize what you're associating that with. Again, they get confused. Number 3, motivation. Your efforts must be motivational. They must have meaning. If it doesn't mean anything to the dog, then he can't be bothered. It's like, it doesn't mean anything to me. So they've got to be motivational. Okay, so think about different things that will give him motive to follow your efforts. And of course, I know I keep saying it, but it really, really is important, everyone. Become the alpha dog. So make sure you are the leader of the pack and your dog will obey your every command. So if you can assert yourself, consistency, all those things, if you've got the previous video that I sent, have a look at that again and just take steps, concentrate, have a look at different ways you can become the alpha dog, and it'll make a huge amount of difference. I really enjoyed doing this video for you. I hope you got a lot out of it, and I shall talk to you again very soon.